This call is being recorded.
Today is the 18th of January 2021. Will Berlinghoff is the voice of cosmic awareness, and Callista is energizer and questioner. Awareness, do you have a message for us, please?
That this one does have a message. It is a simple message. Relax. Take it easy. Do not go into stress and fear. You stand at the very brink of monumental events, and yet this awareness as easily could say you have been involved in monumental events for the last several months indeed, and even years. What is most difficult of all for many is that expectation of results. And at this time, when there is so much information and disinformation going around, it is a difficult time for most, for many have expectations that this or that will take place. And certainly by the 20th of January, the day of inauguration of the new president, or allegedly the new president, that this has become that which has reached crisis proportion in that people's expectations are running wild and they are not being fulfilled. And this causes that tension, that anxiety, the stress levels go up. And that is why this awareness says, relax, take it easy. Know that this is in hand, that events not seen, not reported, not yet revealed have been taking place and continue to take place. That many will see in retrospect how much really has been done and how important it really was to keep a lid on it all. For part of that which was the concern of Donald Trump and his people is the revelation to those who would oppose before events could be carried through. Remember that you are involved in a war at this time, an information war, some are calling it, but this awareness would call it a spiritual war. And that far more is involved than whether or not Donald Trump regains office and becomes president again and carries on for another 4 years, or if it is Biden and the Democrats and the deep state. This is an international conflict. This is a global conflict, a global war. And it is a war between that which is of spirit and that which is not of spirit. And that those dark ones, that which you might call the dark cabal, have had power for so long that they naturally think it is their right to continue having power, to have that power that they lost for the 4 years of Trump's presidency back to them. But all of this is inconsequential to that which is the truth of the situation. That humanity stands at the brink of a journey into the light or a journey into the dark. And that while this awareness can say to you and does say to you, it has already been decided and determined that the way forward is that which is at the inclination of the divine source itself. That it is still so that each of you have a personal choice to make. And that personal choice very much involves whether it is your destination and your destiny to walk into the light or to continue down the dark path. That in this choice, as you realize, what are you energizing? What are you creating? That there is an opening here to expansion in conscious thinking, to a shift in consciousness itself, away from that which has been the preset way of things for a very long time, thousands of years, or a new beginning, a new dawn, a journey just begun. That it is the intent, will, desire of that which this awareness calls the divine source, the prime source, that the way forward is that of the heart, is that of source and spirit. And that those who had their way for so long, because it was, if you will, an experiment, it was an experiment in consciousness, where those who had the darker energies got away with much and became indeed the ruling party, the ruling bloodline, the ruling group that had as their reward much privilege, much power, much prestige, fame, and fortune. But that is done. And really what these days represent as you await this day, the 20th of January, is the accumulation of all the efforts of the many that have worked behind the scenes to oppose the dark ones, the dark cabal, coming to fruition, coming to climax. And in this climax, the explosion outward into the reality that is the mindset of the divine. And while these words may seem simple or excessive, really, in the end, all that matters is that you, the individual, realize that life goes on. And that which you focus on is that which you will experience. That which you create in the beliefs and through the beliefs you have is that which can change if you realize and know that you have such power, such capacity. That is what the future is about. For humanity to awaken to its grander nature, and each individual recognizing their own worth and value as a spiritual being living in a third dimensional reality, or not. That ultimately choice is that which is bestowed upon each and every individual at various levels of comprehension and awareness. And some will understand that they have such a capacity to create their own lives, but the majority will still hold that they are victims to circumstances beyond their control. That this is the divisional point now, that which divides those who have that awareness and understanding and those who do not. And it is coming to that climax now, to realize that this needs not be so any longer, and that the many who are still dumbed down, unaware, asleep, and ignorant to the actual truth of the situation have begun to awaken. And it is why the dark cabal, more than any other reasons, need to stifle that which is Donald Trump, that which is the movement towards consciousness awoken, the mindset aware of truth deeper than those truths that have been given as truth in your third dimensional reality mindset. And you stand now at the very brink of a revolutionary change in consciousness that has already begun, and that from the perspective of this awareness is the future now. So hold the line. Take care. Do not push this situation if what is required at this time is to observe that which is taking place. And to understand there are factors here, perhaps not divulged, not known, that are at play, and that the contest is much bigger than it would seem, but that it has already been determined and decided, and that you will be able to experience the fullness, the breadth of this, the newness of it all, because it is what you are here to experience. And the many that are starting to awaken will also understand that they too are here now to be part of that which is the glory, which is the beauty, which is the power and the magic of the future manifesting in the now. And so it is.